We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
What a day to be alive. It's a wonderful Wednesday. Welcome. The start of the midday show on your number one talk radio station, Lagos Talks 91.3. I'm here with, well, I don't like to use this term, but like the most recent evictee from the Big Brother Titans. Yes, aka Big Brother Africa. I'm here with Jaypee in the flesh. Hi,
Hello.
Jaypee. How are you?
Hello.
See, the way you're batting your lashes, please. 14 years is a long time.
Oh my God.
You know.
Stop.
All right, guys, before I go any further, my name is Big P and I'm here with your favorite. Now, JP, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm doing okay. So far so good. I'm actually hanging in quite well. I have to say that.
I know. So I know you are going through a range of different emotions. Mm-hmm. Can you describe some of them?
Shock, disappointment, disbelief, unhappiness, pride, gratitude, joy,
optimism.
Yes, optimism, anxiety, nervousness, a strong sense of determination, a strong sense to hustle. It's a bunch of things, really.
Now, speaking about a strong sense, some people saw you as someone who had a very strong personality. There's no denying that. I met you in the hallway and I asked you if you're shy. You were like, no. On the show, no. And I was like, okay, so it's real. Now, speaking about that, there was a point in time when you got into the house, and within the first few days, I mean, we had Nigerians and South Africans. Now, some people believe the Nigerian ladies at one point in time, they ganged up and they didn't have very nice things to say because you were trying to just do the right thing, meet people, mix with people, get to know people. What do you think about that? Have you seen that clip?
I haven't seen the clip, but
you've heard
about things about it.
So it was Yvonne, Olivia, and I think Jenny O. And they spoke about it like, oh, what's she doing with the South Africans right now? When you heard, I know you've heard it from the grapevine. Now you've heard about it. How do you feel knowing you were cool with everyone? You were somewhat cool with everyone.
I genuinely was like more attached to the South Africans somewhat in the house. So it did not come as a shock to me when I heard. I don't particularly feel any kind of way about it. I mean, it's how I feel. It's my opinion. It's those that I felt more comfortable with. So I wouldn't apologize for that.
Okay, so I like that you mentioned what Jenny O said. Was there any negative energy you felt coming from certain people in the house?
I did. But every time when I genuinely Jenny, but I did speak to her about it, and she said it wasn't particularly negative, and it's just that she didn't even have a problem with me, but there was just certain things that she didn't appreciate about me. But I did feel the negative energy a couple of times. I even spoke to Big Brother about it in my diary sessions and stuff like that. But when I confronted her, she's like, nah, I don't have a problem with you, JP. It's just some things that you do that I don't like. But I'm just really indifferent to many things. I feel like things that people would expect to get to me wouldn't. I think it was just once or twice that she really did talk to me, and it really did bother me. I mean, I got to Big Brother and I'm like, no, Big Brother, I'm so mad about this. And Big Brother is, why aren't you, bringing it up with her? And I'm like, because I don't like to make a big deal of things. I don't want to blow things out of proportion. If it gets to the point where I can take it, I think I'm going to just call her out on it. But otherwise, I was able to handle negative emotions quite nicely.
Would you say you got on with the guys better than the ladies?
You could say so. And that's because I grew up with 6 brothers. You cannot blame me. All of my childhood was just men. The only feminine influence I had was my mother, and she was my mother. So while she was sweet and everything, it could not be the same as having a big sister, and I was not allowed to mix with the neighbors and stuff like that. So I just grew up with men, male cousins, male older cousins, male stepbrothers. It was just men. So 2 years of your life, and all you're hearing is men talking. You tend to think how they think, talk how they talk. And so when I started to go on to high school, but in school, I just automatically gravitated towards the male species because I didn't know what to discuss with the women. It was easier. And then the guys started to see me as one of the guys. Oh, JP is an OG. Oh, JP, you can trust JP with stuff. I have female friends, quite true, but it's just easier to get along. Guys don't have stress. Guys are not talking about what hair we're wearing tomorrow or what makeup brand we're using. So that is more my comfort zone.
What are you wearing tomorrow?
I have zero idea.
Okay, now, JP, I like that you're speaking about the guys because there are some stories about guys. We need to clear the cough. Now, first of all, we saw what happened between you and Ibubu. It kind of was cute. And, no. I'm to be saying, leave the for me. So I like that you're very sweet about it because he seemed very unsure of himself at the start of the show. And you were someone who boosted his confidence. And you had the nicest thing to say. We saw you cozying up to him. And we saw you having conversations. Now, there was a conversation in a garden. You know how they say, who is in the garden?
I feel like so many of my secrets happen in that garden.
I mean, it's
that
a reality
was the eve of the garden.
Okay, so I want to ask you now, what did you tell him that shocked him? I want to give you, you said you were a self-acclaimed, you were good in the Buddha. Yeah. I'm just going to say that. Can you explain? Because that was, I like to talk, dirty and naughty. Yeah. And I don't judge about that. But some people saw it like, okay, now that's something there. That's content. Can you just explain? Was it just content for you to say things like, oh, I'm really into this, like intimacy and I could do it like crazy? Or was it just a joke?
So, like I said, I grew up with guys. And so I learned to talk filthy and I'm extremely expressive. For some reason, on the TV show, the only part of me that everybody saw to be expressive was the sexual part.
Should I say exactly what we heard?
What did you guys hear?
Okay, so you don't mind. What I saw in the clips, so it was you saying you liked sex. And Abel was saying, is it that you liked it? You said something of sexual addiction.
Oh, I remember that day.
Okay. So, I know that, everyone, it's your body. You can do what you want so long as you're safe, right?
Yeah.
But some people were like, oh my God, sexual addiction. So do you want to clear that?
For starters, it wasn't content. And I think I remember telling Ebubu that sexual addiction does not mean that you're involved with everybody.
Yeah.
So if you're involved, if you had a husband, for example.
Just someone you're exclusive with, but you like it as much.
But you like it as much. So if you're married to somebody, but you're a very sexually active person, that's what it was like. So it's not addiction, I'm going everywhere to get it. It's addiction. If I'm with you, then you're getting it. Pretty much.
Wow. Your husband is lucky.
Husband,
are you listening?
You're listening.
Okay.
I don't cook,
just
so we're going to use this one to make up for the I don't cook.
Okay, so you cook in the other room.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Oh, girl.
I love you.
I love you too. Wow. All right, talking about meals. Now you served a boo-boo breakfast. Yeah. Oh, wow. We're still on culinary skills outside of the kitchen. What happened? Because we saw you move from our favorite Oyibo in quote to someone who's full of muscles, a hunk. And one thing I like about you, girl, you take charge.
Thank you.
You want it, you get it.
Well, thank you.
You have to school me right after this show. See my pen and my paper. And we're going to be asking, so if he's sitting down, what next?
What do I do?
What
are the words you say exactly? How do you approach him?
How do I warn him? You're mine. You're mine.
You just say it. You're mine.
Hey, you're mine. Elon Musk, you're mine. Okay. All right.
Ebubu breakfast, genuinely, I say this every time.
All right.
And I did not know that Ebubu liked me, as everybody's saying.
He did. He was hurt.
For me, it was genuine friendship.
Okay, so let me make this quick. We don't have much time. We saw you with Marvin. What's up? You like Marvin?
Oh, we're friends. Very good friends.
Everyone is a friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. She's my friend. You're my friend.
No, it was just friendship with Marvin and a little bit of the fact that
there was so much chemistry.
There was. Aw,
girl, those cameras don't lie. We saw you, and I like that you were sober when everything happened, right? Yeah, you were very hands-on with him. Do you like Marvin? Perhaps you're more attracted to him than you are to a boo-boo.
I can't say that I like Marvin. I think that the whole touchy-feely thing is just because for me, physical touch is my love language, and Marvin happened to verbalize same. So it just kind of all came together.
But do you believe you had more of a mental connection with him?
You can say that. You can say that. I think with Ebubu, it was just genuine friendship. I like him. I'm rooting for him.
But you saw Ebubu on Saturday at the party. He wasn't so happy because you and Marvin were having your time on the dance.
That can be why
he seemed to be roaming around and just looking like he was dancing off beat. And I was like, this is heartbreak right here.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord. All right, but okay, I don't want to put you through so much now. When both men are going to be outside of the house, if both wanted to pursue a relationship with you, who would be, at a higher advantage?
Judging off what happened in the house, I think this is such an on the spot question. I don't think.
Should I give you a clue? The name is part of one of Drake's songs, Marvin's Room.
I don't think anybody would pursue anything. I don't think I would be willing to pursue. But if it happened like that, I think that Marvin might be at a higher advantage.
Alexa, play me Marvin's Room. All right. So very quickly, I know you're outside of the house. You have so much to offer. You're a fireball when it comes to your personality. What are we going to be looking at now when JP's outside of the house?
I like to say that we're going to be looking out for exactly what they saw in the house that made them love JP, but just outside the house. So,
okay.
Yes, pretty much.
And before we go, I want to ask, what are your plans? Business, entertainment? What are you going to be up to?
So everybody knows I'm a nurse, but I'm going to put nursing on hold for
I have malaria.
Oh, please.
Okay, yeah. You're going to put it on hold?
Oh, please. I'm going to put it on hold. I need to rest. That thing is hectic. And in the house, they didn't let me rest. Every day, I burnt myself. I cut myself.
I'm having a headache.
Oh, please.
But okay.
But yeah, I would want to go into entertainment. I want to become a renowned actress. So that is something that I'll be diving headfirst into. Maybe some modeling, maybe talk shows, maybe OAP, maybe radio, maybe presenting.
Girl.
I do like to talk.
1, 2, we have 4 mics.
Okay, amazing. So yeah, that.
Right.
And then I had a business before the show. I used to sell fragrance. I sell fragrances. I do love my fragrances. So I would just, rebrand my business, get it bigger, and maybe someday soon start my own fragrance line.
And lastly, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for a boo-boo. A boo-boo is a friend of mine.
And the ladies, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Tetsi. She's a South African Tetsi. Yes.
And lastly, do you believe, which I believe is the reason you came outside of the house, because of the parent?
Yeah.
Is it quite unfair?
It is,
because it's one formidable force with someone who's somewhat not as strong.
It is unfair, but it is what it is. I did understand the reason for the pairing, and I'm just like, everything happens for a reason. I didn't even realize how much of a big deal it was until I came out, and from the airport down back to Nigeria, it's all, oh my God, we didn't want you to leave. It's because of the pairing. I heard that over 100 times, but it's unfair now that I think about it, now that I hear my friends talk about it. But really, I'm handling it quite well. It's just what it is, honestly.
All right.
It is what it is.
But thank you so much for stopping by. All right. It's amazing having you guys. So before we go, don't you want to tell our listeners how to get across to you, social media handles and all?
Yes. On Instagram, I'm on Instagram as the.jp. So THE.JAYPEE. On Twitter, I'm THEJAYPEE with an underscore. Those are my 2 major social media accounts that I handle myself.
All right, it's great having JP here.
Thank you so much.
All right, and we're rooting for you. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
I know you're someone we're gonna look out for.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Keep going for what you want, girl.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go out very quickly. Thank you to everyone.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.